Greetings and salutations. My name is Tish, and welcome to the Artist Haven, where home plus art equals heart. In today's live video broadcast, it is coffee with me and my pal, Miss Clara. Hello. Whoa. I clicked the wrong button.
I'm sorry, say again?
I said I clicked the wrong button.
Oh, no.
I need more coffee. This is still my first cup of coffee because I've been busy running around doing things.
I understand.
So today we're going to go over acrylic swipes. We're going to be using this product called Coconut Milk Anti-Breakage Serum. The reason why we're using this is because it has dimethicone in it, which is a derivative. I think it's a synthetic version of silicone. I'm not sure exactly on the why it's called dimethicone instead of silicone, but I think that's the reason why. I knew a long time ago, but I can't remember now. So hey, but anyway,
it's got the magic stuff in it.
It's got the magic stiff.
That's all I need to know.
Clara is going to be using the mix pouring medium, and I'm going to be using Floetrol and glue. Hey Clara, because I love you and I didn't want you to ruin all your mixes. I did mix up a little bit of the mix with some coconut hair serum, some dimethicone, just to make sure it didn't get all lumpy and weird on you. Because I wanted to be prepared.
Is this really going to happen?
Man, dude, I don't want her to mix all this paint up and then we can't do it. But, there are other things that we could have done too. So
that's true.
I'm good at adapting like that. But
you know me, I'm not afraid of an experiment. So you're
so much like me as far as, your adventureness in art. You like to try things, and I love that about you. And that's why, I love having you on this show in the mornings because one, you're just, fun to talk to. And two, you have that open-mindedness, and I can run an idea by you and you'd be like, well, let's find out, and yes, someone agrees with me. So I just wanted to go over really super fast before we say hello to the people in the chat. I just wanted to show you guys. These are just dollar store trays, so it gives you an idea how. But Clara, I love you. You are my friend forever.
Yes, but
you're my friend forever, anyways. But look at how cool these are. I am so happy.
I am happy for you. Yay.
This is the first success. Okay, I will be honest. Elisa is a great artist and a good teacher. I don't know what I was doing wrong. I just wasn't in the mindset, I guess, or something, or, the stars weren't aligned. And so next week we are going to make sure that this wasn't a fluke, that this is actually, something I learned, and this wasn't all by accident.
If we can have 2 successful days, then we're doing pretty good, right?
Exactly. That's how I'm gonna judge it. I'll be like, okay, that wasn't just a fluke. That was actually me learning some shit. So it's just like, okay. But
we'll get you there.
We'll get us there. Exactly. Oh, look at it. Doris gave me my first super chat. Woo!
Nice.
This is the first time I've been able to monetize my live streams because I finally got approved for the partnership program. So that's the first thing I did this morning is made sure that I could monetize and accept ads.
And that's all you're on Amazon now, so that's awesome. You got the links and stuff. Now, are you part of the Amazon affiliates also?
No, I'm only a part of the affiliate partners, not the influencers.
I'm sorry, the influencers.
I'm not big enough yet to be an influencer. So that's the next goal. We just keep chugging along, hitting those milestones, and I reached out to one of my YouTube gurus and asked him if he would be a mentor to me, like help me develop what I want to develop with this channel. And I had a group kind of thing with another guru, and I don't think he understands that I'm not here to get 100,000 subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not here to make hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm not here. That's not my purpose. That's not my intention. And he's like, well, what's your value proposition? I'm like, my value proposition is in my name, in the Artist Haven. We are a haven for artists. We are an artist community. And it was getting very frustrating because he was saying one thing and saying another thing that was totally contradicting. And I love him. He's great. He's in your face. He's a great YouTuber, a great mentor, but he's not getting me. He's not getting my intention. And maybe I can't do it on YouTube, but I was also told that I would never hit 1,000 subscribers just doing lives.
Oh, well,
and I did.
Yeah, well, you showed that. So, by the way, Tish, Twisted Art Lady left you a present.
Sam, you guys are so awesome. Thank you so very much. Oh, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you, Sam at Twisted Art Lady. And if you are not subscribed to Twisted Art Lady, you need to get your happy butts over there and subscribe to her. Same with Doris. If you're not subscribed to her, get your happy butts over there. Show their channel some love. Give them some watch time. Sam just started her channel. She's got, I think she said last time I heard she had just over 250 subscribers. So let's help her get to her 1K milestone. That would be awesome for her. She's such a great lady. She's been through all kinds of hell in her life, but she's still strong and she's still like out there creating art and loving people. And that's what I love about her. So
nice.
Twisted Dabo. Yes, Jeff. Okay. Without any more hullabaloo. Oh, I have to be totally transparent here. I made a mistake this morning, so we're going to be using this beautiful blue that I mixed up because I have a system. So when a bottle is empty or almost empty, like it's down to like the last inch, I put it in a tub. And then I go through the tub. It's just a little white tub. I'll show you. See, it's just a little white dollar store tub. And then I'll go through all my paints and I'll pull out the paints that I have. And if I don't have it, I write it down so I know that next time I order paints or the next time I go to, Michael's or Hobby Lobby or wherever, I know to pick it up. But here's me. I mixed this up last night and I forgot to put the tube of paint back in its storage container. And so I mixed it up again this morning, thinking I didn't have it mixed up because I wanted to use it. So I just added some Prism Violet by Arteza and quinacridone. I think it was the quinacridone red. Hang on. I don't remember now. I just remember it. No, it wasn't a magenta. Not magenta. What is it? Anyway, it was a red. Liquitex Basics red. And they're all semi-transparent. So it'll still maintain that semi-transparency. So that's kind of one of the things that I look at when I'm mixing paints is I look at the opacity of it so I can maintain that opacity with that new color. Sometimes I say screw it and just mix it till I like it. Okay, so what I'm going to do here,
that's my theory most of the time anyway.
I like it. Then mix it till you like it, And in resin, I'm finding you can do that, You can mix colors until you like it. Mm-hmm. Sometimes acrylics don't work that way. Sometimes they just don't like each other. So, okay. Yeah. So what we're going to do is I use my scale. If you're new to the channel, first off, let me say welcome. Thank you for joining us this morning. I use my scale for everything because bakers use scales, soap makers use scales. Anybody who needs precise measurements use scales because precise measurements give you consistency. If you want a constant product, you need to scale it out. Pillsbury, when they are cutting all their cookies and doing all their things, they scale it out and they know exactly how much product they're putting out. So that's why I scale my stuff. If you can eyeball it and be accurate, go for it. I cannot. So what we're going to do is Clara's got all her colors mixed up in mix. So I'm going to take each one of the colors that I'm going to be using and I'm going to scale out an ounce, okay? Because we're going to use this later. But this is what I'm going to do it all right now so I can get my scale out of the way. Because that's how I roll. Okay, so I'm going to put the thingy behind the thingy. There we go. And I'm going to use the Mountain Blue or Lake Blue by, it says MT, so I said Mountain Blue, but no, it's Lake Blue by Master's Touch. I've got the Master's Touch Rouge, the Metallic Cobalt Blue from Artist Loft, the Deco 24 Karat Gold, and then this is my iridescent white mix. So, and then I've got just regular white as well to do my background with and my swipe color with. So, and we're going to be using this blue too. Because I was going to use the Prussian blue, but I'm like, it's kind of dark. I want to keep this kind of light and spring-like because I'm really in the mood for spring. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I really want spring to come. Thank you. Okay, so this is the iridescent white. I'm going to move my Prussian blue over here. I got to wash out bottles today. That's what I got to do. I have so much stuff to do. Okay, so we're going to put these in order. Kind of. So just scaling out 1 ounce because we're going to set this aside because this is the color. Because we're going to do it three different ways today. We're going to do one that has the coconut hair serum in the swipe color only. And then one with the ones with the serum, the dimethicone in the colors only. And then one with all 3. So it has coconut oil serum in both the color and the swipe color. And we're going to see what different results you get, and so you can kind of know when you go to do a project, okay, this is, I want this to be super selly, or, oh no, I just want a little bit, so you can kind of know and judge, okay, I want this, the colors to stand out more, or I want this to do this. And that's how that's how I roll is I experiment, I take pictures, I write notes. I just, I do all the things. So,
and we're trying to get it to a 3 on the mix, right?
For the mix, I honestly, it's usually close to a 3 when I mix it up. But yes, if it's really thick, do add a little bit, just a touch of water. You don't have to add very much.
Oh, okay. So you can add water to it. I just flicked it and I had red go everywhere. I wanted my gold.
That's one way to make rose gold, I guess.
It's a little bit. It probably won't go rosy.
Okay. So, this one got dirty. How did that one get dirty? Let's wipe that out.
Okay, so I've got my colors mixed up, and you said 4.5 to 0.5 on the color. How many drops of coconut do you want me to put in the white? And I've got two whites set up like you asked me to do. So
for the coconut hair serum, I do it a little heavy-handed. I usually go about 3 drops per ounce. If I was using silicone, I usually do only 1 drop per ounce because silicone seems to go a little more wonky.
Yeah.
So
about 3 drops. Okay.
So we're going to do a little bit of this blue. And my little hint for doing drops with the coconut hair serum thing. Hang on, I'll show you. is I pull the thing out. I took the cap off and let it all drip, like run off into the bottle. And then I can just get 3 drops. So I take the lid off.
Oh, you let it drip from the.
And then I let it. I kind of rub it against the side there, and then I can control the drops.
Oh, thank you. I was like starting to do the pump squirt on there, and I'm like,
no,
I don't know if it's going to squirt out a ton or a little bit.
Here's my thing. I always give Johnny shit because I'm like, how do you have such expert control of your squirting? And he says some vulgar comment. And I'm like, you know what, dude, I didn't need to know, really. Why did you go there?
Too much opportunity there for a comment, yes.
But, you know, he uses the coconut hair serum in all his paintings. Like, I don't know of anyone. Not all of them. There has been a couple now that I think about it that he hasn't used it in. And I'm like, honey, you're cheating. Because I call it cheating. And you know what? I cheat sometimes too. Because sometimes I want that whole like explosion of cells, and I'll throw some Astroglide in there, or I'll throw something in there. Okay, so let me turn it off. Come on, turn off. Shush, I say. Okay, but before we really get started, let me say hello to, Sam. Hello, Twisted Art Lady. Patricia is here. Angela's here. Doris is here. Melissa Martin is here. Diane, hello. Artful by Mo, hello. Yay. If I missed anybody, I'm sorry. I'm just going off the live chat on YouTube, and it's only this big. So if you haven't said anything in a while, I'm sorry. But so what we're going to do is, first off, I got to make sure my tiles are clean because I don't remember cleaning my tiles this morning. So I just use a little bit of rubbing alcohol in a spray bottle. I have hang on, I got to grab it. Yeah, there we go. This is 70% rubbing alcohol in here. Mm-hmm. And I just spray it on here. I just do it over the side. I don't do it over my table because I don't want it to get in my paint. It's not going to do anything really if you get a little bit of a misty in there. And then I just rub it off. Yeah,
it's kind of like me with the silicone around my resin studio. It's like I handle that as if it's radioactive.
Yeah. Oh yeah, around resin.
Yeah, definitely.
So
there we go.
Oh yes, I will put the link to Krista and Debbie's business Carpata Art down in the description box after the live. I forgot to update all of that stuff because I didn't know that she was using mix because she's out of Floetrol until like the very last minute. So I was like, oh, shooby dooby doo. Okay, so what I usually do,
yes,
is I take a little bit of this doesn't have silicone mixed in it yet, or dimethicone mixed in it yet. So I'm going to take and mix in my dimethicone so it can sit for a moment. Okay. So I've got an ounce of paint in here. I'm going to take my little dripper dropper off. We're going to wipe it off on the edge, and we're going to put 3 drops in. 1, 2, 3. If you accidentally put 4, don't cry about it. You'll be okay. It's just paint. So I'm going to take a little stir stick, a little popsicle stick, and I'm going to give that a good stir and get that all incorporated in there. Mixy. Okay. Now you can do more, you can do less. Just remember when you go to clear coat or resin these, you are going to have to clean them. And what I clean with is a mixture of distilled water, Dawn dish soap, and rubbing alcohol. I have it all mixed up in a spray bottle, and I spray it down, wipe it off, then I spray it down with just water, and then I let it dry for 24 hours. And then I do a clear coat of polyacrylic, whatever varnish I got on hand. I have a hodgepodge of things that I use. It depends on the painting. I put 3 or 4 coats, 2 or 3 coats of that on there, and then I put 2 or 3 coats of resin. So, because I say 2 or 3 coats because I have an issue. So, I always have an issue. There's always some little dust bunny that gets in my resin. I have a dust-free zone, but you know what? I'll tell you what, that dust is sneaky.
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
So, if I'm using a white swipe color, I just put a little bit on, on the tile or whatever I'm using. I just put a little bit to kind of, what is it that Erica says, grease the pan? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we're just going to do that, and I'm just going to use this palette knife.
And I'm assuming the one we grease the pan with, you do not want the coconut oil in that,
nope,
right?
That's it, right. And this is when I take the opportunity to make sure I get all my sides too. That's part of the reason why I do this, is more to grease, give it a little bit of traction. And now this is, and also to cover my edges and get my corners and stuff.
Right.
So that way, especially when you're working on tiles, you don't want that manufacturer number to show. I mean, if you do, you do, and whatever. I use tiles from Lowe's now because they don't have the little knobs, and I'm like the ones at Home Depot and Menards has. I don't know. I haven't been in a Home Depot for longer than 5 seconds the last few months because the people there drive me crazy. So I realize. Okay, so there we go. Can you tell I used to decorate cakes?
Yeah. Don't look at my frosting.
It's like perfect little lines. Okay.
Yeah, don't look at my frosting.
So, here is the thing.
Yes.
All of the paints that we've mixed up today are at 3 right now. Okay, and a trace of 3. If you're new to the channel and you don't understand the trace of 3, I'll go over it super quick with you with this blue. So when I mix up my paints, I mix them up very thick because I want the flexibility to water them down if I need to, or very rarely do I need to thicken them up because 3 is what I pour out for 90% of my pours. So when you take your stick and you whoop it around, it should take about 3 seconds for that ribbon of paint to disappear. And that's called a trace of 3. So there we go. Anywho, so there is my beautiful swiping area cleared off. And now here is where your consistency matters. If you're going to be using a palette knife for your swipe, or you're going to be using a piece of plastic for your swipe, or you're going to be using a wet paper towel, or depending on what you use for your swipe and how heavy-handed you are with that particular tool is going to determine your consistency. If you are not getting the actions that you want and you've put in your desired amount of silicone and you should be getting something, change the consistency of your paint and play around with that. Mix it up in little batches just like this. Don't go all crazy wonky with it. You don't need to mix up a whole bottle and find out that's not the right consistency. Just start in small batches and experiment, play. Every artist is different. I have watched a bajillion swipes from everybody out there on the YouTube, and I've had to come up with my own way of doing it because I had to take, Pouring Your Heart Out. What's her name? Julie Cutts. I had to take a little bit of information from her, and Jilly Cube over in Australia as well. I had to take a little bit of information from her, and from Gina DeLuca, and from Marcy at Mixed Media Girl, and just take all this information and hone it down into something that works for me. What works for me is not going to work for you because I have different temperatures, different humidity. I'm heavy-handed when it comes to swipes. I'm like a bull in a china shop. So what works for me is not necessarily going to work for you. Remember that. You are your own artist. You're your own individual. You got to find what works for you. So with that being said, I'm going to do it all at 3s just to show you what I get at a consistency of 3. So you go ahead and you have your silicone or your dimethicone in your white cup. We're going to put that off to the side.
Yes.
And we're going to you can do blocks of color. You can do a rimble of color, just all higgly-piggly. You can swipe it diagonal. You can swipe it however you want. I know you know how to do swipes in resin. This is basically the same concept. We're going to pull the white color over the top of the other colors. So
Okay.
you get the concept. Let's just go for it.
All right.
I don't know how I'm going to do my swipe, so I'm just going to.
I'm just striping it up for now.
I'm just going to put this down and see what happens. Now, I am using gold, the 24 karat gold, so that's going to give me sales no matter what.
I got 24K gold too.
Yep, that's going to give me sell action no matter what. So, and I'm using titanium white, and that's going to, if I put that on top of all these other colors, which I'm going to put this rouge down, which is a very dark magenta. I love this rouge. I'm not a big fan of Master's Touch paint, but there's a handful of colors that I do get from them. One is the lake blue, one is the rouge, I love their Prussian blue, and I get their titanium white in the big tubs and tubes because it just goes that much further. So, and titanium white, unless you're doing something really super specific, it's titanium white, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're doing blooms and you need the Amsterdam.
I'm going to go a little heavy on the gold this time. I know it takes over, but why not?
Yeah. It's kind of bitchy that way.
It's a little diva.
Yes. But I'm okay with it. See, now I'm just going all helter-skelter, willy-nilly, because I am going to do a diagonal swipe, I think. I don't know. I never know what I'm going to do until I do it. It's just kind of how I roll. All right. So I'm going to turn this way. And for sheer purposes of being me, I'm not going to use this funky thing. But I am going to grab my smaller piece of plastic. So I'm using this is those flexible cutting boards that you get at the dollar store. You get 2 in a package. I just took one of these and cut it up into different sizes, different shapes. I have ones that are like rounded and whatever. So.
Dina just left you a present too.
Dina bought me a coffee. Look at her go. Thank you, Dina. Thank you so very much. Thank you. I appreciate all of you that have donated today. You guys are going to make me cry.
Oh, please make Tish cry. This will be interesting.
Oh, I'm an ugly crier.
Oh, ready? Go get the tissues. Janice left you a tip too, and a big one.
Oh, thank you, Janice. Oh, you guys, really awesome. You guys are making me cry.
Okay, so how thick of a stripe do you leave for your swiping? That's what I'm looking for.
Do you see this right here? I'm going to pull from both sides. So I made it fairly thick. That's also part of the experimentation. You want to see how much paint you need. And, and because if you're pulling from the side, I usually have it drip over the side. And then I do one line that kind of goes over the side. And then I do one line that goes over the top. And then I swipe it across.
Right. Okay.
And then sometimes if it's a big canvas or a big area, I'll do another like medium-sized line in the middle and one towards the end if I want to make sure that white goes all the way across. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. I believe that.
Hear the hesitation in my voice?
I heard the hesitation. Yeah, that kind of does. So, okay, if I'm doing an 8x10, even, like an 8x10 canvas and I want to do it all in one big swipe, I'll put the paint down on the end. And then a few inches down, I'll put a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And that'll help keep that white color all the way through. Because if you're doing a big area, you're going to lose some of that white.
Okay, I just wiped off my little swipey thing on my paper towel. I got cells on the paper towel. How's that possible?
Because it's coolness like that?
That's wild.
Okay, so also when you're torching these, be careful. Certain products that do produce cells, like oils and spray silicone, are flammable. So
Okay.
if you're using a spray silicone in your cup to help produce cells, or if you're using like that wood conditioner oil, those are flammable. So we want to be careful when using flame around them. Okay. And I have never set anything on fire that had to do with painting. I have set things on fire that had to do with culinary stuff, though. So, we'll just go with that. So like I said, I am like a bull in a china shop when it comes.
Yeah, I'm heavy-handed too.
So
it took me a while to figure out how to do those little resin swipes, but just because I barrel through them.
Well, yeah, and it's just like, I'm used to working with more heavy materials. I'm not used to working with all this frilly frou-frou stuff. Okay, so I'm going to torch this, and then I'll show you the results that I got. All right. So there are my results. You can see there's some cell action going on, and I don't even see that gold popping up yet, but we'll see. Sometimes it just takes for it to just appear. Now I like doing these because then you can keep in fun down the middle. So
licky. That looks fun.
Hey, look at that. You did spectacular, my lady.
Woohoo!
So now we're going to take that white that we've mixed the silicone in, or the dimethicone in, and we're going to put that aside. Okay?
Oh, man, it was working.
I know. But,
okay.
So what you want to do is you want to take your silicone one, and we're going to put it way out of arm's reach. So, like, you have to, like, extraneously, so you don't accidentally grab that one. Okay?
Gotcha.
We're testing, and we don't want to make boo-boos in our testing, because then we get faulty results, and we don't want faulty results. So.
Oh, my cups are like really stuck together. You hear all that noise?
Okay, so for the next one, we're gonna. I need a new cloth because I just used my cleaning cloth to wipe off my hands. How's that? Huh? Okay. Yep. I'm good at that. So here we go. I'm prepared. I pulled rags out of my box. And this one I'm going to leave on the chair so that way I don't use it for my hands. Okay. For the colors now, we're going to line I take the colors and I line them up.
Okay.
That way I have them.
So are we talking about the big cups that we mixed in, or are we talking about itty bitties?
You can do itty bitties because you have other cups, I guess. I have my bottles, and you have all yours in cups. So I would put an ounce in a little cup and go from there.
Okay. Itty bitties. Got it.
That way you're not tainting your whole paint mix. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to put silicone in these 3 or these 6 colors. Wow, I'm using 6 colors. What's wrong with me?
I don't think there's anything wrong with you. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't like using even number colors. I suppose I got 2 whites, so there we go. We'll just say that makes it 5 colors. There we go. Okay. It's just something, it's psychological. I know, I'm weird. It's okay.
So your little shot glasses, do you think the first line is 1 ounce?
Hang on 1 second.
Okay.
I gotta look.
Because a lot of those cups, the lines actually mean something.
Okay. Yes, I think the little cups that I sent you in your little care package. These are I think these are 1.5 ounce though. But I'll fill it to like just below that bottom line from the top. So you got one line, two lines, so the second line from the top. I'll fill it up just below that and call it good.
Okay. So
my reason is because I want to have room to stir and not get it all over the place.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so I've got my actual colors into the itty bitty cups, and you want me to leave my white pure as far as leave it in is normal mixing cup,
right? Because we're not going to put any dimethicone in our swipe color. Okay,
got it.
That's what I have in my bottle.
Okay,
so we're going to see what different results we get with putting the silicone or dimethicone. I'll get it right eventually.
Coconut milk.
But I have a problem saying coconut. It doesn't want to come out coconut.
So how many drips do you want to put in the itty bitties?
In the colors, I put 3 drops. 3 drops per ounce.
Okay, got it. 3 drops per ounce. Okay.
Yep.
Oop, that was a nice little stream.
I stir them all up before I put my white base down because I will give it a moment to just kind of chill out. But give it a really good stir. That's why I like these plastic Dixie cups because I can hang on to it and give it a really hardcore stir, and I don't rip through the bottom. I have done that, so we won't go there. Okay, I'm going to put my white base down. This is the one with no dimethicone in it.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to get my palette knife out again and smooth this around and give those edges some love. Because sometimes you get enough paint to the edges and sometimes you don't. And, this just, why go back and fix things if you can do it right the first time? That's what I always tell myself anyway. Kind of. There we go. Da, da, da.
All right. We're covered.
All right, so I'm going to get this wiped off so I don't make a mess, any more of a mess than I already have. Oh my goodness, you should see all the cells that are in my drippy stuff. Oh, wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just like right over here. I don't know, by my cup here. Like,
oh, fun.
I'm gonna let this plastic dry because that would be fun to play with on a bottle or something. Okay, so now I'm going to do this a little bit different than I did the last one. I'm going to still do a diagonal swipe, but I'm going to do the colors in more of a chunk. I'm just going to do blocks of color.
Okay.
Just because I want it to look similar but not the same. So I got that one down. So I did also want to mention that on the Pour Me a Coffee site, which is the Buy Me a Paint site, I started a membership. And I've had this for my patrons, but I've been really bad at it. But starting this month, I started a new Facebook group where I will be going live in the group and be doing different crafting stuff that I can't really do on my channel because they say to stay within your niche. And I am an all-around crafter. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but this summer I'll be doing some furniture pieces because right now it's too cold outside to do furniture. I'm not crazy. I mean, I am crazy, but I'm not that crazy. But
I think if you stay within your niche, if your niche is also playing with art in general, I think that's totally acceptable. Because you guys see me, I play with a bunch of different mediums. As long as you're consistent about being inconsistent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it depends on who you talk to. Some people will say that. Some people will be like, "No, you gotta stay in your niche," and blah blah blah. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm just like, here's me. Okay, wait a minute. I don't want this. Wait, oh, this is the iridescent white. Okay. I was confused there for a moment. So I'm just gonna kind of come through this.
I'm like gonna tilt my baseline.
There we go.
Hey, works for me.
Okay, so I'm going to take this. I'm going to turn it sideways. But anyway, if you become a member, either at my Patreon, on my Patreon, or on my Buy Me a Coffee / Buy Me Paint, it's $10 a month. But I'm going to be going live on that group 2 to 3 times a month, and doing other craft projects and some baking and some cooking and some just kind of stuff that I don't get to do on my channel. Like I don't get to do cooking and my baking and my furniture and all that stuff. It goes out of the realm of fluid art. Okay. I'm more than a fluid artist. I like to play in all kinds of mediums. So yes, we're doing this one. So this will be an opportunity, for people to learn more than just fluid art. I will be baking. I'll be, doing some bread stuff, and because that's my first love is bread baking.
I just happened to look over in the chat, and Jessica says no gloves. It's like, nope, we're both naked fingers here.
Oh, gloves when it comes to acrylics, unless I have a cut on my hand and I'm having a Band-Aid or something like that, be an issue. Otherwise I don't use gloves. Or I'm using a lot of house paint, because house paint will dry out your hands in like 5.8 seconds. So I just don't. What I actually do before I go live is I wash my hands really well, and then I get this at the dollar store. I put this creamy baby oil, or I put lotion on my hands.
Really?
Yeah, that way the acrylic washes off easier.
Huh.
If you have access to it, Avon used to make a product. I don't know if they still do. It's called Silicone Glove. This stuff's amazeballs. I used to use that when I was making soaps and candles and stuff, because it literally does act like a glove on your hand. Oh no! Kind of flubbed that one. Oh, I flubbed it up. It's okay. I'm okay. Because I can just kind of do this. Okay.
I'm not worried about you. You got enough experience to know how to get yourself out of a pickle.
Oh, yeah. I usually tickle my way out of the pickle.
You had me howling last night with the whole French tickler thing and the star. I mean, it was just like, oh my gosh.
Might as well, make it fun. And Sam, I understand a lot of people have a very sensitive skin, and I do too. Not on my hands so much, but like on my body. Like I can't use parabens. So I'm allergic to them. So I understand that if you're always wearing gloves, go for it. I actually get more of a rash from using gloves than I do for not.
Really?
And, yeah, even the non-latex gloves, after wearing them for a couple of hours, even I'm changing gloves and whatever, after wearing them for a couple of hours, I'll get a fine, like, heat rash type thing. So it's like,
that's not fun.
I do, and damned if I don't, So I just opt for the one I can control a little bit better. Okay, so now I'm just popping bubbles with my torch. Again, if you're using a product that is highly flammable, probably not a good idea to use a torch. Let's rethink that. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys this one. I'm not really happy with the way the middle has turned out so far, but that's okay. We're going to go with it, because I like to do things in the middle of these, like put a cool little decal or something like that. But there is mine. How did yours turn out?
Well, I got some big cells on it. I'm not sure about the blocky color, but
Okay.
here, I'll show you.
See, I kind of like the blocky color.
You do?
Yeah. It's like a rainbow behind the clouds or something.
Yeah, kind of like that. I think I would have been happier if I had them working together first, a little bit more, that kind of thing. But I think that's me playing with resin part coming out in me.
Well, you know what? You can do. That's why I wanted to learn resin, because resin and acrylic, though they're completely different mediums and they're completely different techniques, you can kind of use one to learn the other and find, okay, this is how we do it in acrylic pouring. Let's find out how we do it in resin. And then you just kind of
or even influence, and it's like, ooh, let me try that in this. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So I'm just cleaning my tile here. So that's how I look at it anyway.
Okay.
Next. So for the next tile, we are going to use all dimethicone. We're going to use dimethicone in our colors and dimethicone in our swipe color. So we can compare, see how the reaction is, see if that's something we want to do, see if it's too much cells, because everybody has their way of doing things. And this is art. There are no rules, so you just go with it and do what's in your heart. So
that's true. Time to play. So I'm assuming I'm going to still do the base with no coconut milk in it. And so that way all of them are consistent as far as that goes. Does that sound good? The grease in the pan part?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, what did you say?
The white without the coconut milk thing, use that for grease in the pan. So all three are consistent?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Sorry.
No problem.
I am just like, whew, this morning. I feel like I'm hungover and I haven't drank since like my birthday. I think it's just the weather or something. And Angela does make a good point. If you stir the silicone too much, you get tiny cells. Yes and no. Because if you stir it in and then you let it sit for an hour, they find each other. It's like little magnets, and you're in there. They'll find each other. And also with silicone is different than dimethicone, because I think dimethicone is more manufactured in the mind that it's going to go on the skin or with water, where silicone is just a naturally occurring thing, I think. I'm not exactly sure. I have to do refer back to my notes, because I have a whole bunch of notes that I took when I was working with Bath and Body Products that I referred to when I started for doing acrylic pouring and finding out all the chemicals and stuff. And yes, your skin is like a sponge. Your skin is your biggest organ on your body, in your body, on your body, and you should treat it with respect and love. And I happen to have abused my hands my whole life. No naughty stuff. Truly, I have worked with my hands my whole life, and I'm feeling it now. So I figured, well, I'm just going to go for it, because this is it. Just for me, I feel like the gloves and anything else is like a barrier against me getting to my art. So you guys do you, and I'll do me.
But definitely wear gloves when you use resin, because that is a totally different matter.
And that's where I found out because I was working with resin for, I put gloves on as soon as I brought the bottles out, because, they get sticky on the sides and whatever. I mean, even after you clean them, they're still a little sticky. So as soon as I bring the resin out, I put gloves on.
Yeah. And if you get it on your skin, wipe it off your skin as much as possible first. And then add the alcohol, because it's absorbed in the skin really easy. So you definitely want to do a quickie cleanup.
And here's my other kind of thing too is, I watch what I eat. I don't eat a lot of processed foods. I don't do, if I put a little bit of paint on my skin, okay. But resin, no, resin, but that's, like I said, that's where I found out where my skin, even with the purple gloves that I have that are latex free, I'm allergic to latex. So I got to stay away from latex.
Mm-hmm.
So, even those will give me like a heat rash type thing. And then my hands itch for like 2 or 3 days afterwards. And, but I've learned that if I put the baby oil on about an hour before I put the gloves on, it doesn't get as bad. Actually, I don't put the baby oil on. I put my other lotion that I have that's paraben free. Mm-hmm. It's a shea butter beautifulness that I absolutely love. So, okay, we're going to kind of do block colors again.
I'm doing stripes. Because I kind of want to see it side by side with the first one.
Yeah. So we're going to kind of do, this time I'm going to kind of overlap them a little bit.
Again, I got cells on my paper towel. I'm sorry, I just get a kick out of that. It's like, wow.
Woohoo!
I have that too. When I'm done with alcohol inks and the paper towel, if I'm doing painting with them, and you're looking down at the paper towel, it's like, ooh, that's pretty too.
Yeah, I know. That's when I bring my camera out and take a picture of it, and then down the line, I can make prints of it, Mm-hmm. So, I'm going to put the gold here. Whoop. I'm using way too much paint, but that's okay. All right, we're going to do a line of white. This is the iridescent white. This is not my silicone white. Or dimethicone white. Okay. So I'm going to tip this a little bit. There we go. I'm going to turn it at an angle. So I'm going to do all 3 of these at angles. That way they all kind of look the same.
I kind of went off a little bit. I did a little wavy line on the second one. But this one I'm doing an angle too. So I got 2 diagonals and 1 wavy.
And Patricia, you do make a good point. Silicones also have different densities. And yes, they do. Different brands will have different densities. So if you find one brand doesn't work for you, try a different brand. I'm not liking the one that I got at Hobby Lobby because it's almost like water. So I went out and bought the 3-in-1 silicone oil. And I haven't done a lot of experimenting with it, but I'm going to play with that a little bit more in the new year here. And just keep playing, keep experimenting. There's nothing wrong with you doing some work on some tiles. And if you don't like them, soak it off. It's just paint. If you're using you should be using expensive paints to be experimenting with anyways when you're learning new techniques. Use the cheap paint, use craft paint, and then use that knowledge that you gain from that with your expensive paints, with your expensive products. So, and on your expensive canvases, all of it that we aren't born knowing, y'all. So it's not like,
yeah, I got multicolored cells.
Yeah, see, this is mine.
Like right in there, like 3 or 4 different colors on the cells. That's cool.
So experiment, have fun, and learn. Okay, so I'm just going to do 1 little line. Actually, I'm going to do 2 because that's a little thin.
Or sometimes what I do with experiments is if you're doing the colors with it, you can also have one of the colors be nice paint too. Because sometimes you can get effects with the cheap stuff or sometimes vice versa with the expensive stuff.
Right. Like the 24 karat gold. That stuff may give you blow-up cells.
Exactly.
But, if you know that already and you're doing a swipe, you know that the gold is going to give you cells. So you're going to, know that already. Mm-hmm. Play with different paints. Play with different mediums. Just be okay to play. because that's just
Yeah.
how I learn.
Play is not about perfection. Play is
Nope.
about discovery.
Yep. And you know, these tiles are 15 cents a piece. And you can, I have literally taken a tile, painted on it, hated it, let it, soaked it off. You know, it takes 5 minutes in a bucket of hot water. Soak it off, clean it off, let it dry overnight, and then paint it on it. I've done that. There was one that I did like 7 times before I dropped it and broke it.
Bad tile.
It was a cursed tile, but I learned from it. And it's like, okay, I need to go back and do this. And I need to, you know, go back and do this. And that's when I was doing bloom pours. And anybody who knows me knows I hate bloom pours. Okay. They've been the bane of my existence since the beginning of time. Mm-hmm. So, I think it's just because I don't like to blow on things. I don't even blow out birthday candles, y'all. I don't like blowing on things. It's just a thing. And I don't know.
Tish, you're officially weird.
I know.
Hey. I say that with love.
I know. I've been that way since I was a little kid. I really didn't like blowing out the birthday candles, but everybody said blow, and I'm like, no.
Me no want to.
Yeah, and especially when you go through a safety class for food service. Mm-hmm. Yeah, go through one of those classes and you'll see what I mean. So that only amplified my disdain for that. So, all right, I'm going to torch this baby. So what do you think, Clara?
I think swipes are fun.
Yes, they are. They're so much fun.
Ah! Send plane flying. I'm having a day.
Hey, trust me, I know. Okay, so there's my silicone all around, or dimethicone all around.
Cool. This is fun.
Wait, why is Michael Sean Carter on the live stream? He is naughty.
He's what?
He's being naughty.
Uh-oh. He's not naughty. He's a nice guy.
But why doesn't he have a wrench? He needs to have a wrench. I wonder, hang on. I wonder if I can fix that on the fly.
You can do it.
Okay. Type something else, Michael. I think I made him an admin of the channel so he can go in and...
Michael literally types something else.
Yeah. You know what? He is that way. He will do it.
Yeah, I know.
Blow what? Michael, you and I'll have words later. Maybe.
My hubby will come in the living room, you know, when he's ready to go to bed. He goes to bed early. And he goes, okay, say goodnight, Clara. Hello. Good night, Clara. And he'll do the same thing. All right, everybody say goodnight, everyone. Good night, everyone. Hi. That was my son walking in.
Oh, well, why is he not? I don't understand. I wonder if that's because he's an admin. I don't know. I'll see. It says he's now a moderator.
Uh-oh.
Type something else. Yeah, it must be because he's an admin. So
maybe he's off duty.
Could be. All right, so general consensus.
What?
This one I don't like.
This one you don't like?
This tile I don't like. But I'm going to tip off some of the paint here. I don't know why it's doing the wonky stuff, but it is. So, okay, this is the one with the silicone in the colors only. I think I went a little heavy-handed with the white, so we might try that one again later on, because I need to make another one. So this is the silicone in just the white swipe color. Michael.
What did he say now?
He said, I'm keeping my wrench put up right now. It's really cold out. It's not that cold out.
That's
But
what he
anyway.
said.
So that's the one with the silicone in just the white. This is the silicone in the colors where I did more of a blocky color style, and I'm not really liking that. I stretched it out a little bit, trying to get it to do what I wanted it to do, and it's not really doing what I want it to do. So I'm just going to kind of stretch it out some more and go with it. So
I like these little hand thingies.
it is looking kind of cool, though. What's that?
I said I like these little hand thingies. These are
those
fun.
are fun.
They work great.
And then this one is the silicone in everything. So we'll see what happens with this white center on that one. But you get the multi-layered cells, and my autofocus is off, so I can't bring it really close.
Oh, you call them the multicolored ones?
Yep, the multi-level is multicolored.
Okay.
I love those. Those are fun.
Yep. Agreed.
So I'm going to push these off to the side, and then I'm going to bring Clara up so she can share her experience and her opinions, because that's why we're here. We're here to
get opinions. Get opinions.
And get opinions from, because you're still, relatively new to the acrylic pouring world. And, you've had access to, some mastermind acrylic pourers. I mean, Marcy and,
true.
But I'm grateful that you're learning and you're growing, and
it's fun.
Taking
it's lots of fun.
Yeah, right, it's lots of fun. Okay, hang on.
I'm ready.
You ready? Hang on, I gotta find my mouse. Okay. There it is.
Can't help you there.
All right, there we go. Okay.
So this one is I'm just going to call it coconut milk. I'm sticking with that. Coconut milk only in the white. So it did pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy with that. And then this one is the coconut milk only in the colors.
Okay.
And this is the one where I did kind of a wavy line, but it's still a diagonal line, and did the block.
Okay. The blocks.
Mm-hmm. And then this one has the coconut milk and everything. So a lot of the multi-colored cells in this guy.
Yeah. I love that.
I did another one, but this time when I swiped it, I just kind of waved it around, and I really am digging that. I'm almost like a flower pattern.
Yeah, it does. So cool. See, and you're using mix, and you mixed up 7 parts mix to 1 part paint, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then did you add water to any of them?
Nope.
Okay.
They didn't seem to need it.
Okay. And what colors did you use?
Oh boy. Okay. All right, we got this one, the 24 karat gold one.
Okay.
I say oh boy because there's several that I mixed up. All right, so this is my white.
Okay.
And then the purple is a mixture of this one here, but primarily this one. The Extreme Sheen purple. So I darkened it up with
a little bit of acrylic.
Yeah. And then my reddish pinkish color was this with white, but I wasn't real happy with the kind of pink it turned out to be. So no, actually I'm lying. I'm sorry. I used this straight up. That was fine. But I did some Amsterdam white and the magenta, and the pink wasn't coming out quite right. So I had a little bit more of this, and then I added some more of this to it to kind of darken it up.
Okay.
So yeah.
So that's the Rust-Oleum Metallics Ruby, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, Scarlet Red.
Scarlet Red? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have that one.
Well, that's the one you sent me.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Huh. They must. I thought I sent you I gotta send you the Ruby Red because the Ruby Red is even better. I don't have.
Go right ahead.
Yeah. She's like, oh yeah, just send me more paint. That's okay.
Yeah. Watch me fight you. That ain't happening.
See, here's the thing. This is the thing between Clara and I. I send her some stuff. She sends me some stuff, and we just kind of send stuff back and forth because we like feeding each other in our addictions. So that's what we do. All right. Well, did you learn something today, Clara?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes, I did, and it was fun. And I'm gonna probably keep playing afterwards.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go wash my hands and pour myself another coffee.
Oh wait, no, I can't play. I have to go inside because my son's making breakfast. He's
great.
an awesome. Yeah, he's an awesome son.
Yes, he is. I had toaster strudel for breakfast, so have an extra egg for me.
Okay, we'll do. I love toaster strudels. They're just like my little, guilty pleasure.
I get them whenever they're on sale. I buy like a stack of them and keep them in the freezer because toaster strudels are fast and easy, and they give me something in my stomach in the morning. Because oatmeal makes me tired. It makes me sleepy. So I eat oatmeal in the evening if I can't fall asleep. I know that sounds weird, but I'm weird. We've established this. So
yes.
Anyway,
that's okay. That's okay. I'm weird too. We blend.
We're all weird. There's no such thing as normal. I'm sorry. I don't believe that in any way, shape, or form. Anywho, you guys, thank you so much for all your donations today. I appreciate you. I appreciate Miss Clara for coming and spending time with me.
And I appreciate you.
I know.
For being an awesome teacher. This is fun.
You're an awesome teacher too. So we complement each other.
Yes.
Like peas in a pod. All right.
You complete me. Oh my gosh, the mush fest.
We just got a little bit too deep right there. Thank you all for joining us today. If you like this video, please smash that like button. If you know someone who might be able to learn from this video, please share it out there on the interwebs. And if you're new, please click that subscribe button so you can join us again next week when we do some awesome art in resin, because we just kind of rotate every other week. So you're always going to learn something here at the Haven. Have a great day. Remember, be kind to one another, y'all. Be kind.
Yes. Darn it. Be nice. Darn it, be nice. Let it go.